This is a general tour of NeurOptimal 3. Before we begin, some general information about NeurOptimal 3. NeurOptimal requires you to be online at least once per week while you're using it. There are a number of reasons for this, including updates and license verification. Now let's get started. When you launch NeurOptimal, you'll notice 4 windows open. This window is called the Vault. It's the hub of NeurOptimal. You control everything when you're not actually running a session here. This window is called the NeurOptimal Media Player, or what we've affectionately been calling NOMP during the development process. It is the window you use to control the media during the session. This window here is called GeForce. This is the window that's pulled to the client monitor during the session and is the one that the client watches throughout their session. If I had an external monitor plugged in to my system right now, that window would have gone straight over to the external monitor. I'm going to minimize this for now. The 4th window is called the Media Center. We only interact with it when we're using audiovisual sources like movie files, DVDs, and streaming sources. I will minimize this for now as well. You'll notice that when NeurOptimal launches, there are also 3 icons that launch at the bottom of your screen. So you've got the NeurOptimal icon, and when you hover over it, it shows the Vault, the Media Player, as well as the tunnels and waterfalls, which we'll get to in another video. Then you've got this blue icon, which actually looks like a K. It stands for Cody, and that's what the NeurOptimal Media Center is built on. And then you've got the GeForce for NeurOptimal icon as well. So let's take a look at the Vault for now. So you'll see upon startup that it's broken down into 2 columns. You see upon startup that it's broken down into 2 columns and is resizable. You may decide that you prefer to see it in the 4-column view, like this, which shows the trainer and location. You can set this to launch this way at startup in the Preferences section found in the Tools menu. I'm going to take a moment to walk you through the main gestures to get around NeurOptimal 3, which has been specifically built to be used on a touchscreen. So there's the double tap, which is the equivalent of the double click, and the tap and hold, which is the equivalent of a right click. So I'll show you what I'm doing now. I am putting my finger on the screen on the trainer column header, and so I have touched the screen, I'm holding it there, and then when I release my finger, we'll see what we would otherwise think of as a right-click menu. So now we've got all the choices under the trainer heading that are available to us. So as you can see, anywhere that I tap and hold will bring up a sub-menu for that item. So if I tap and hold the name of a client, for example, a different menu will pop up than if I tap and hold a session, which is also different from a tap and hold on any of the headers above. Tap and hold anything in the Vault will result in a list of possible actions appearing. The other way to get around in the Vault is by taking it one step further and using the double tap. Performing a double tap on pretty much anything in the Vault will result in the most common action for that item taking place. For example, if we double tap on the word client, then it'll bring up the Add a Client window. Double tap the word session in the header, and your list of clients pop up to choose from to start a session. double tap the name of your client, and the session starts for that client. How simple is that? To the right of the vault, you'll find 4 icons. A tap on each of these icons provides you with an explanation of what each one is for. We'll go more into depth on what each of these is for in a video called NeurOptimal 3 In-Depth Tour, and that's given by Dr. Valdine Brown. Now let's start a session. So I'm going to double tap the name of the client in order to start a session for that client. Okay, so you'll notice that the vault has disappeared and the matrix mirror has popped up and the music has begun. You also notice that the timer on the left is starting to go up and the timer on the right has begun to decrement or go down. And G-force has started in the background. Again, if this would have been on a second monitor, then we'd be watching G-force on that monitor. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the NeurOptimal media player and its controls. Tap on the playlist icon to display the current playlist. So as you can see, this music, NeurOptimal number 3, is actually broken down into a playlist of 6 different parts. Tap the OneNote icon to display the various other media sources you can switch to during a session. You can find more information about that in another video called Using Different Media in a Session. This icon is the repeat icon. You can choose to repeat a single item in a playlist or the entire playlist by choosing the icon either with the 1 or A for all, if you want to repeat the entire list. Tap the previous icon to restart the current track, or tap it twice to bring you back to the previous track. The pause button pauses the session and then changes to the play button. To unpause, once it's paused, tap the play button. The next icon takes you to the next track. This is the shuffle button. Activate it and it'll shuffle the current playlist. This is the stop button. You can press that to stop your session. And this one we'll get more into in a different video, but this is if you want to take notes during your session. You can click on this icon and a note box will pop up. You can enter your notes, tap Insert Note, and then the note will be inserted into your session for retrieval later on. You control the volume in the actual main system. There's no volume control in the media player. This is G-force. This is what you watch during your session, and you can make it full screen by tapping on the little square at the top right of the window. More detailed information about NO3 can be found in the NeurOptimal 3 In-Depth Tour, also located in our video library.